Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of NFL Picks. That is right, we are going to be tackling week 3 today, and I totally understand that there are some questionable players that may or may not be on the injury report, but based off of just pure speculation of whether or not they'll be listed as doubtful, questionable, etc., I'm feeling pretty confident about each and every single one of these picks. I'm going to be going through not only who I have to win the game, but also some of the best bets, which could be a variety of point spreads, over-unders, or just standard money lines for the most part. Now, by the way, this video is powered by BetUS. Guys, Bet is hands down the best sports book on the market today, and it has the best damn promo on the face of the planet. They're matching 150% of your first deposit all the way up to $2,000 and 125% of your following two. So they're giving out a whole bunch of free money once you make your initial deposit. And as long as you know what you're doing, you could easily turn that into easy money. So go on ahead, visit betus.com.pa and utilize code YouTube150 to take full advantage of this promo. And by the way, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel. My goal is to have 50,000 subscribers by the end of this NFL season. I am committed to keeping you entertained all season long and even during the offseason. New England Patriots and the New York Jets, folks. Listen, I got to say this about the New England Patriots. I don't care if they lost out on Matthew Judon. This team is still very, very annoying. And you know what? For the past 2 weeks, they have ended up covering the spread. And today you see the New York Jets are 6.5-point favorites, while the New England Patriots are sitting at plus 6.5. Folks, I'm not sure about you. I have the New York Jets winning this game, although that defensively they have been playing like absolute dog water. I'm going to take the Patriots to cover at plus 6.5. I have the Jets winning this game. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot closer than people want to give them credit for. But give me the Patriots plus 6.5 and the New York Jets to win the game entirely. Over-under is a bit interesting. Over-under 38. I'm probably going to take the under on this as well, but it's not my favorite bet, just full transparency. Now, next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Folks, buckle up for yet another rendition of some boring-ass football. Both of these teams, right, are strictly right out of the 1980s. If you follow me on X, you probably saw that I pointed out that vast majority of the league is averaging 190 pass yards per game. And these are just two teams right here that I think are going to be running the rock. Two pretty decent defenses. It's interesting. I'm going to have to go with the Los Angeles Chargers to win this game by itself. It's going to be damn close. With Justin Fields only tossing for one passing touchdown all year, one of which where they just won off of field goals, this game is going to be ugly, but I will take the LA Chargers. I'm going to trust Harbaugh to walk into Pittsburgh and walk out with the dub. Very, very intrigued by the under as well at 35.5. I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers cracking 20 points, and maybe not even the Chargers. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts, folks. Let's just say it. Let's just call it how it is. Anthony Richardson is struggling tremendously. He is basically in his rookie season. He has a lot to clean up. And then you look at the Chicago Bears, where Caleb Williams is walking away from a game where he was pressured 88.2% of all dropbacks. It was at a historical level. I feel bad for the guy. But the Chicago Bears defense is absolutely disgustingly good. If Caleb Williams can figure it out, if the Chicago Bears are able, to have answers for the Indianapolis Colts pass rush, it sounds like Buckner may even be out with the ankle injury. Might change my mind if that turns out to not be correct by the time the game rolls off on Sunday. I'm feeling the Chicago Bears end up winning. This right here is a game about defense, and I think the Chicago Bears are going to dominate Anthony Richardson, bottle up the run, and I think the defense gives the Bears a shot to come out on top and be 2-1 going into the 2024 season. So give me the Chicago Bears. I'll probably just take the money line on this one. Next up, we have the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Shout out Sam Darnold and company. Shout out Brian Flores and that defense. We all had the Vikings pinned for absolute basement dwellers of the 2024 season. We were all salivating over the new look Chicago Bears, the Lions, the Packers, what have you. But the Vikings came out there and they shocked the world by beating the San Francisco 49ers last week. They are home again against Houston, who, in my opinion, has been playing teams relatively close. They were literally a field goal away from being beaten by the Chicago Bears. They ended up edging it out, obviously. And so then week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts, where that game was a hell of a lot too close for comfort, if you will. I have the Houston Texans winning this game, so I'll probably just end up going with the Houston Texans money line on this one. But, man, there's just something about Sam Darnold that I'm hoping he proves me wrong on this one. What a damn story. New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns. Those poor New York Giants, man. Daniel Jones, once again, looking like a bum, but at least Malik Neighbors went out there and put out a show against the Washington Commanders. If it wasn't for their kicker over in Washington, perhaps the Giants may have secured their first of 3 wins they'll get in 2024. I think it's pretty easy to say. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to dog walk the New York Giants. Offensively, they can't do anything, especially against this Cleveland Browns defense. So Deshaun Watson actually looked a little bit better during week 2, and this New York Giants team, although that they do have some sprinkles in their defense in which I respect, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns, and I'll be completely honest with you, I think they cover the spread at -6.5. I think this is going to be an absolute boat race, if you will. Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. And damn, man, if only Saquon Barkley were to catch that easy dump-off pass from Jalen Hurts last night, we would have been having an entirely different conversation. They would have been walking into this game 2-0. And now they're going off against the New Orleans Saints, who these absolute dogs, all right, have put up 92 points in 2 weeks. A team hasn't done that since 1995. Is this a fluke? I'm not so sure, but I'm riding the damn hot hand right here, folks. I'm going New Orleans Saints with the victory. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people want to give it credit for. So I might take Eagles +3, but the New Orleans Saints defensively and offensively, where it stands right now, is just the better football team. I am going with them damn New Orleans Saints for the victory, baby. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Folks, before I go into this analysis, is anybody shocked that there's 3 teams in the NFC South which are flirting with the top 15 of the league? We thought this was going to be the dumpster fire of the NFL. Both the Buccaneers, the Saints, and even the Falcons with the dub on Thursday Night Football, you know, having Kirk Cousins surpass that stigma that he can't win during prime time is crazy. Shout out to the NFC South. Denver Broncos, man, just ended up losing yet another offensive lineman. They have absolutely no weapons for a rookie quarterback. This is still largely a rebuild under Bo Nix. He continues to struggle. I'm pretty sure he's second in the league for picks as of right now, and this team just can't get anything going offensively. So give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers once again. Baker Mayfield with another performance that puts him into the MVP conversation. I'm putting Baker, I'm putting Josh Allen, and I'm putting Derek Carr as leaders of the MVP race into week 2, going into week 3. I know it's early. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they easily cover this -6.5, hands down. So next up, the Carolina Panthers and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Panthers are so terrible, folks, that they ended up benching their young quarterback in Bryce Young. More than likely, a lot of the front office is already doing mock drafts, so Quinn Ewers can be the quarterback of the future by the time the draft comes in April. This Panthers team is terrible. I mean, I hope that Andy Dalton can at least make them somewhat respected in the league, but I think the Las Vegas Raiders, coming off hot, beating the Baltimore Ravens last week with that pass rush, I have a feeling it's going to be tough for Andy Dalton to really be able to make much of a factor in this game by itself. I love what the Raiders are doing defensively. Gardner Minshew actually had a pretty respectable game last week, so give me the Las Vegas Raiders for the win. Yeah. And I definitely think that they will completely destroy the point spread. They will cover -5.5. Book it. Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins. And obviously the Miami Dolphins lost out on Tua last week with a concussion. Surprisingly enough, no, he is not walking away from the game. He is not retiring. So you know what that means? Skylar Thompson is about to be your quarterback in Seattle on the way after Miami loses a heartbreaker to the Buffalo Bills the week before. Seattle, once again, shocking the world, becoming 2-0, leading the NFC West, which is absolutely nuts. No one saw this coming. Surprisingly enough, I think I have the Dolphins keeping this close. I love what Seattle does, right? They have one of the most slept-on wide receiver trios in the league. Week 1, they had one of the best defensive showings that you could possibly see. I think Seattle edges this out, but I think Miami does keep it close. So give me Seattle Seahawks for a dub, but give me the Miami Dolphins +4.5. This is going to be a pretty close game. Damn, I cannot wait for this game. I'm not going to lie to you. I have the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, yet again, another shock of the NFL season so far. No one thought that Kyler Murray was going to go out there and be scorched earth, man. He is currently the second highest rated quarterback when it comes to QBR in the league through 2 weeks. Marvin Harrison Jr. got going, 130 yards last week, completely dominated the LA Rams. Very banged up secondary and defense in and of itself. And then you go up against the Detroit Lions, right? Obviously, they did struggle a bit last week, losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Were not able to really go on ahead and get anything offensively going on a consistent basis. Definitely didn't help that Jared Goff ended up tossing a couple of picks here and there. But I'll tell you what, I do have the Detroit Lions winning this game, but this is about to be high scoring, folks. All right, listen, if there's any bet where I am confident that this bet is going to hit throughout this entire video, it's going to be the over at 52.5. The Arizona Cardinals defense is still terrible, folks. Outside of their ball hawks at the safety position. So I think that the Lions will be able to run against them. And then I also think that they will be able to pass, particularly on the perimeter. So give me the Lions for the win, but my God, hammer the over at 52.5. Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys, man. Dallas Cowboys ended up losing an absolute heartbreaker against the New Orleans Saints. The Saints went in there and literally, quite frankly, kicked their ass, all right? Embarrassed the Cowboys for their one of two head-scratching losses they have ever since Jerry Jones has been the owner of this organization. And then you look at the Baltimore Ravens. This team is absolutely desperate right now, folks. They are 0-2 for the first time in God knows how long within the Ravens community. It's tough for me to pick a winner here, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, but for some reason, I just have a feeling that Baltimore, there's no way they're going to go 0-3. I think that Baltimore is going to come off. They're going to struggle. That offensive line over in Baltimore is a liability, especially going up against Micah Parsons, that pass rush. They have solid secondary. I don't see Derrick Henry being much of a factor in this game. I really, really don't. However, I think the Baltimore Ravens defense is going to cause just as much havoc to the Dallas Cowboys, who cannot literally generate anything when it comes into the run game. So give me the Baltimore Ravens. And so I think it's going to be an ugly game all across the board, but I'm probably just going to go with the Baltimore Ravens money line here. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams, dude. Talk about a team that is in the infirmary, all right? We just ended up seeing that the San Francisco 49ers are not only without Christian McCaffrey for the next foreseeable weeks, if you will. Now the LA Rams are losing everybody. Cooper Kupp out a couple of weeks. Puka Nacua out on the damn IR. Matthew Stafford got a little banged up. He'll probably end up playing, right? Defensively, already we're in body bags before the season even starts. So both of these teams are suffering massive injuries that are making them almost uncharacteristic. I think both of these teams will be okay once they end up catching a break from this injury bug. And I'm just going to have to go with the San Francisco 49ers here because while they are dealing with injuries just like the Rams, their injury report is nowhere near compared to the CVS receipt that they have over in LA. So give me the San Francisco 49ers to win this game, but give me the Rams plus 7.5. Surprisingly enough. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons. As many of you guys know, the Chiefs are without Isaiah Pacheco for the next 4 to 6 weeks. They brought in Kareem Hunt for a meeting today. I'm not sure if they ended up signing him, but if not, what's going to happen is that Patrick Mahomes is going to have to rebirth Travis Kelce, who's coming off of a week with just 1 reception and 6 yards against the Cincinnati Bengals the week before, and they're going on into Atlanta. Listen, we all know that the Chiefs are the best team in football until proven otherwise, and Atlanta ended up showing why they did pay Kirk Cousins for that game-winning drive against Philadelphia. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs because I refuse to pick against them because they have made me look so dumb for so long. But give me the Atlanta Falcons plus 3.5. That way I'm hedging my bet and I'm not upset if things don't work out the way that I think that it should. That way I won't be upset and I'm hedging my bets going into it. So shout out Kansas City Chiefs winning the game. Atlanta Falcons covering the spread. Now we go to Monday Night Football, folks. All right, we have a doubleheader here, starting off with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. The Jacksonville Jaguars, man, look like an absolute dumpster fire. I mean, I'm sorry. You have Trevor Lawrence throwing for under 50% completion rate. He's taking a lot of shots downfield to Brian Thomas Jr., which is working effectively, but it's not enough. That defense is not scaring anybody at this point. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win this game. Unfortunately, I have a feeling since the Buffalo Bills have had a close game week 1, domination week 2, I don't know why. It's just the Jaguars play the Bills super tight. They're super annoying. So give me the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 5.5. I think this game is going to be close, but the Buffalo Bills will ultimately end up winning. And just love what the Buffalo Bills have been doing offensively, defensively. It goes to show you continuity and how important continuity is. Crazy. Last but not least, we have the Washington Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Washington Commanders, man, got to the win column exclusively from the help of their kicker, going 7 for 7. I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Cincinnati, man. I really, really don't. And I'll be completely honest with you. I think this is going to be a bloodbath. This is going to be something where Cincinnati can move forward, get their first win of the season. I like what Jaden Daniels has been doing, but that dude's going to kill himself one of these days, man. He's 150 pounds, and he's going 1v1 against linebackers shamelessly. I'm very concerned about this kid. But Cincinnati, I see them bouncing back, first win of the season, and I see them, oh, my God, I see them easily covering that -9. So, folks, that's going to have to do it for this week's edition of NFL Week 3 Picks. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned briefly, my goal is to have 50,000 subscribers by the end of the season. I put out NFL content, Buffalo Bills content, all the content in the world. So go on ahead and join the family and let me know once you do in the comments section. Sound off and let me know your picks. What are your locks of the week? And as always, I will see you tomorrow.